No, let's start with Dion. Let's get Dion over because
the ancestors have spoken.
Diallo ain't gonna do no talking with Dion. He gonna let us ball chase by ourselves. So maybe
oh no, I'm not.
You have a link in here for Dion.
Listen,
I mean, we really just discussing our thoughts of his success or failure. But I mean, there's some links I got of.
Oh, I see.
Somebody put roots on Dion.
There's some links I got of his recruiting class. They don't look too well.
The ancestors have spoken.
Wait,
what did Dion do?
Put roots on Dion.
Nah, Dion.
Yeah, because he was obligated to drive HBCU students to concussions, and he went to drive PWIs to concussions. So the ancestors obviously deemed him unworthy to win.
So
wait a minute, are we starting with this lawsuit?
Who lawsuit?
There's a McNair. I'm looking at the chat.
No.
There's a Colorado University lawsuit that involves McNair scholar. I'm a McNair scholar. I'm interested in that. What happened?
I mean, you could pull it up because I didn't read it, but I was saying that was Dion's fault, but it's not.
Oh,
I was joking. It was a joke. Don't get us fined.
So the one thing you did have in here was just, I believe, is just this screenshot. There's no link here, right? That Colorado finishes the season in last place.
The ancestors.
Last 9.
Yeah, and they lost 7 games in a row towards the end.
It's the ancestors.
But there's an argument that Dion has success off the field that we're not really talking about. So Colorado, if y'all remember, immediately they asked the director what was Dion's salary or what was he going to pay Dion, and he said, we don't know yet. We don't have the money yet. They didn't have the money, but eventually they paid Dion $29.5 million over 5 years. But in a month of Dion's being there, they made $280 million, right? So 5 years, he get 29.5 for 5 years. In 1 month, he made them $280 million. Ticket sales of $20 million, donations $8 million. Some other categories they didn't name, $3 million. And then also the attraction that he get from the cameras and all the media and the advertisement, that's $249 million in 1 month. So off the field, is he doing good for the hood? On the field, he probably not really winning much, but he was able to get them a check.
What's he doing good for the hood? You said he's doing good for the hood?
But let's just be fair to Dion. According to this, he doesn't even make the top 25 top college, top paid college coaches.
Don't matter. He's hustling almonds.
So go to those first 2 names, right? Dabo is probably racist as hell, but Nick Saban, as I told y'all before, my first college coach was Lou Saban, Nick's cousin. Mm-hmm. Nick Saban and Dabo both are known for winning to become famous. Dion is famous trying to win. None of these coaches on here was known for anything other than.
So you saying these white men earn their salary and Dion?
I ain't saying it. I'm just saying.
While the professors at those same schools are driving Ubers.
You only
I know. I bet there's no faculty.
The professors at that same school are driving Ubers. This right here is some shit that like archaeologists 200 years from now are going to be trying to decipher and understand and comprehend the logic of our civilization. Mm-hmm. Like when we look at human sacrifice of the past, when we look at gladiator arenas and be like, well, human beings, despite high levels of intelligence and architecture, they still had some of these backwards and primitive ways.
Their smartest scientists and philosophers were driving cars
and working as baristas at this place called Starbucks, and we thought Starbucks was some type of intergalactic space station, but turns out it was a cafe. And so those are college coach salaries.
Yeah.
And then y'all trying to mock me for my disdain for ball chasing?
Now, granted, listen, I gotta admit, from my experience,
what the blood?
The people who bring in the most the people who bring in the most money to all schools is normally the football program. So I'm not saying that's justifiable, but I'm saying people ain't come here to take your history class.
That
Mr.
is yet
Professor.
another pox upon academia.
Then exactly.
If
Then
the number
change
one source
exactly.
of revenue and
Exactly.
are the ball chasers.
Exactly. First of all, they changed the whole question of why is there even a discussion of revenue generation at a university? It's not. The idea should, for in a properly functioning society, would not be to have universities exist to generate revenue. They're there to generate the next leaders, people who are going to help the society. That's the whole point. Whatever you want to call it. That's what it's supposed to do.
So it's still helping somebody generate revenue, right? Because the leader is going to help somebody generate revenue, right?
But the point of if the overall operation, if the overall goal of society is in some way to generate revenue, part of what you need, I would think, for a society is a wing of society that is dedicated to the study of all these different fields in this hard and soft sciences. Pause.
Right.
But
I just watched.
Anyway, again, I'm not.
How do y'all look at that and not? I mean, I'm greatly disturbed. Like I live in this society.
No, I'm with you, Geechee. I'm trying to deal with Geechee's
children in this society, and y'all sit here arguing with me to say that a goddamn ball chasing coach should concussion generator can earn $10 million at a university. Some of them public or state
That's not
universities?
the argument. That's not the argument. The argument is the football players, the students, should all get more resources.
Oh yeah, let's have a bunch of Maybach driving students, private jet flying students, diamond grill students.
No, I think that's a part of, if Geechee, if I understand you correctly, that's a part that starts to make more sense. If the goal is to generate revenue, and you have hold on, Diallo. If the football team is generating revenue, and the argument is to be, well, they generate the most revenue, then the revenue they generate should go back to the entire university. And it should be something that benefits the entire university, helping the salaries of everyone, not just the head coach, helping the resources for students, not just the select stars who get the Maybachs and whatever else they're getting. And then and that goes back into the facilities and everything else, if that's to be part of the equation. Otherwise, if the goal is to just generate revenue that's solely for the football team, and the university seems only to exist to prop up the existence of a football team, that's where I'm back to where Diallo's original concerns, I hear them being. Then what are we doing here? And then no wonder. And then for me, it becomes, will there be a planet in 200 years to investigate itself? Or will that investigation have to be from some extraterrestrial entity, because ain't nobody gonna be here.
Builders will return and
maybe they'll be right, exact, because it wasn't no Africans clearly that built them things. So whoever built them will come back and be like, we tried to point you in the right direction with these pyramids, but then y'all wanted to pay head coaches and not faculty.
So let me
madness.
Real quick. Let me run through a couple things.
That's madness, a mad world.
Let me run through a couple things, and then y'all tell me if he was successful on and or off the field. So just recently, after all his losses, his top 3 recruits decommitted from joining the program. He had a coach.
Is that the link you sent? Hold on.
No. That link is for the recruits. I'm gonna get to that. That link is for the recruits. Okay. Next year. But the top 3 recruits decommitted. A coach quit, and then I think 1 or 2 players jumped in the transfer portal. He has the worst defensive coordinator in college.
See, Dion got you.
I'm still glad when those coaches.
His number one.
Hold on.
I can't get beyond that. Y'all moving ahead of me. Y'all moving too fast.
Hold on, Geechee, you gotta
he got to put his hair up. His antenna.
Diallo just kicked me out the broadcast.
You got that third world.
No,
Wi-Fi.
I took because you were frozen.
Oh, I don't know.
Nobody could hear you.
Oh, well.
So you got to go back and make that last point
about the brand recognition worst defensive coordinator.
Come on, where's the island?
We didn't
girls?
hear any of that.
Oh well, what I was saying was,
hook your shit up,
Diallo.
An island boy. Wait, Costa Rica, is that an island? That's not.
Yeah, it's a country island.
Right.
Tell me when you finish, I can go. Tell me when to go.
Madone.
Like
I'm
East
gonna
Coast.
mute and let
Tell me
you
when to
finish.
go. Oh, you gonna mute? That'll be beautiful. I've never heard of that.
Oh
So,
wow.
what I'm saying was his top 3 recruits that was supposed to join the program, they decommitted already. He had one coach quit, and then he also had a couple players jump back in the transfer portal. His defensive coordinator is ranked the worst defensive coordinator in college football right now, but they are arguing that he did help the Colorado State with brand recognition. People want to see them. People want to hear about them. He technically won the social media audience. And then he does have one player that's still kind of ranked in the top. I think he may be the top 60 player, and he's from the West Coast, and he want to stay home, but he might get flipped to Washington, or Georgia is in his top 5. So with some of these things going on in terms of social media around the school, them being on TV, having one of the most viewed games when Oregon whipped their ass, that was I think 10 million viewers. Would you say, I know Diallo's going to say obviously shit, but would you say he had success on or off the field at all in whatever categories you want to judge him on? Start with Jared.
By what I would understand to be successful, I can't see how anyone would claim success here. If the goal if the goal is to just be popular in massive amounts of losses
and money
and generating revenue for yourself or for your bosses, if that's the metric, then again, what are we doing? And then we're just clearly exposing the fraudulence of sports, which in that sense would make him ultimately the most valuable. But if there's now, I watched, and I unfortunately might have to be one of the last times I do it, because they had a conversation that I don't know if I can watch this anymore. But Cam and Mace, that was their defense, or Cameron's defense of when Dion was brought up. He was saying, look, he's making money. He brought attention to the school. He's going to get new recruits. We got to give him time. Nobody builds this championship, blah, 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 this quickly. Give him a minute. He's doing his thing. He's making his money. That was, but I don't, but again, and then I'll stop here. But my thing really is, and that I think that he has not been called to task enough for, is that while he was at Jackson, he used that time to disparage HBCUs and disparage the Black collegiate sports world without properly putting in context the situation. So, and then he used that to propel himself upwards, and is being praised for, exactly, and is continuing to be praised for that. To me, that continues to bother me more than anything. But if the goal is individual wealth and boosting your celebrity, I guess he's done.
Winning.
He's successful. He's winning. Yeah.
So a couple things for Diallo go. They only won one
became
game.
A sovereign citizen.
They only won one game last year.
Ancestors is on his neck.
They only won one game last year, so anything supposedly would have been an improvement. But again, I think it's really important if we're talking about sports. When you look at those coaches who are known now, you would have never known who the hell they were had they not won national championship after national championship, and then they become famous. Dion ain't win a game yet before you know who he was.
Well, you got to count his playing career. That's how he did it. I mean, he did win.
Oh,
but that's how he got to where he is.
Well, yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Rapper.
I'm not arguing why he's a celebrity. I'm talking about as a celebrity, because even when you think about it, like growing up playing, and then you have athletes on your team who become coaches. Some of them be the sorriest. Well, I don't say some of them not that good. They don't be that good football players, but they become a good coach. So being a good football player don't make you a good coach, because we know a bunch of good athletes who just didn't transition well.
But you were saying that
I'm in a barbershop.
Exactly, and I need that because I have no purpose in being in one anymore.
You need the Diallo.
So, I guess, yeah.
So get your beard line up and be quiet. Go ahead, Jay.
But if
let's not talk about lineups.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What you trying to
Don't
say?
go there. I live out there, so don't go there.
Man, my hairline ain't no different than yours, brother. But go ahead, Jared.
Exactly. Like how
well,
you
I was
bald
thinking you were
and
going
got
in it.
hair at the same time.
Well, it's because I listened to your last show. I thought Diallo was going in another direction. I thought he was saying. I thought he was saying
and advancing at the same time. It's like.
I thought he was saying lineup in terms of police lineup. Because Diallo, remember Diallo, people got to pay attention to his show. Diallo lets you know if just because the official charge might say something soft like trespassing, don't mean it wasn't something serious going on beneath that. So, Diallo might only have a little trespassing charge on his record, but that don't mean that he's not a problem in these streets. Exactly. Right. So you gotta be careful what you wish for out here. But to your point about why look, you're right. They got their celebrity status and their big paychecks off of winning college football games as a head coach. Dion got his payday and his promotion for having won once upon a time as a player and for having a celebrity that will bring revenue to, as you said, what did you say? They paid him $25 million and made 800?
29.5. They paid him over 5 years. So not yet. Over 5 years, he's going to get 29. But in 1 month, he made the school $280 million.
Wow. So there you go.
But again, as a person who was recruited, and I think I got grifted into being recruited too. So my coach was Lou Saban. He Buffalo Bills Hall of Fame. Every Thursday he gave me a call to have a conversation, and I only went to that school because of him.
And he coached OJ. Didn't he coach OJ in Buffalo?
Last time I said that, y'all said that was a bad reference, so I left OJ out. Right.
Well, that's your connection. Whenever people look up OJ Simpson, they go see Geechee down at the bottom of the footnote. You're forever connected.
But what he did was he
received the same teaching.
He recruited a bunch of athletes to the school, right? The school was sorry. It was a bunch of us athletes there. We didn't win no games because a bunch of athletes on one team don't make a good team, right? And we end up losing almost every game. We just like Dion, we beat the teams that was losing. The teams that had winning records, we lost. That's not going to get people to stay, and that's not going to get people to commit for a long time, because what they're going to see is a bunch of stars and glittery stuff. They're gonna see people not making it to the NFL, because even from a college team, maybe 5 people is gonna make it to the league. 3 people gonna stay. 2 people gonna stay on each team, no matter how good the team is. So I don't think people coming from high school want to put their bodies on the line and lose. So they're going to go to a program that either they can play or win, as opposed to some damn concert or whatever. So I think he's just going to burn and crash fast. And then on top of that, he's following his son. I don't know if people paying attention. So once both his sons go to the lead, the defensive back and the quarterback, I'm pretty sure he's going to try to go to the league too. Not that he's going to get a job, but maybe he'd be a cornerbacks coach somewhere in the league soon. He ain't going to be a head coach for a while if that ever happens. So, I would say
take that pay cut.
No, it probably won't be a pay cut. Well, actually, it will be a pay cut.
It will be. They're not paying $5 million a year for a cornerbacks coach.
Yeah, you're right. So he will. Well, I mean, he'll get it through an endorsement.
Head coaches don't even get $5 million a year in the NFL.
He'll get it back through endorsement, so I don't think he would care. But real quick, that ESPN link, I wanted to show you the recruits real quick. So when you look at this page, you'll see the usual suspects: Georgia, Alabama. They getting all the recruits, and you don't see Dion until you get down there to 60, a 4-star. That's just one person. But if you look at even last year's recruit,
chattel,
it is. Even last year's recruits, all you see is Alabama. So again, the ability to recruit. And somebody said in the chat, like, he is a good coach. I mean, you haven't really seen him coach. You've seen him use his celebrity to bring kids in, but you haven't seen him actually coach. And in some of the games that it was time to coach, like he went down there to South Carolina State and Buddy Pugh gave him what he wanted. He didn't outcoach Buddy Pugh. And he don't really outcoach people. He has the top athletes in the country who any of y'all can come out the chat and win a game with some of them players against other teams. So you know, if you want to argue coaching, Dion having
his top recruit is 70.
70, 70 or 60. So like, and that dude might get flipped by Washington. He want to stay out west. Washington recruiting him just as hard, but he's also Georgia's on his top 5 too. And you know, again, if you want to win, you're gonna go to Georgia, South Carolina, Bama.
No, it said he committed. Aaron Butler said it says.
I mean, you can decommit. That's why people decommit.
You can decommit, right?
Just as well, because he already had 3 people.
So then it's not committing. So what is the point of saying?
Well, technically, when you're in a relationship, you commit until you decommit. So yeah,
not mine.
Well,
my wife can't leave. I can't leave.
You're in a
this is we're not allowed to leave. Our commitment is we stood before a preacher and everything. We stood before the Lord and pledged and vowed to be together. So she can't leave.
So give Diallo a chance. Did he do anything worth saying good job, Dion, at all?
Yeah, he promoted almonds. He was selling us almonds. That's all I saw of Dion.